Oisín Reynolds for the final bell. Today I'm here with the WBC Continental Americas champion, the one and only King Callum Walsh. Callum, how are you?
Good, yeah, very good, yeah.
Now, last time out, you put on a stellar performance, capped off by a second round knockout back home in Ireland. How did it feel to put on a performance like that in front of the Irish crowd?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. That was exactly what I needed, going home, putting on a show back there and then going out and getting the second round knockout, especially after that walkout, after the atmosphere in there, everybody was going crazy and then being able to perform too, on that night was it was unbelievable, and that Irish crowd was crazy. That was the best fight of my career, so far and I'd love to do it again.
Lovely. And talk to me about what was going through your head before you made the walk. Obviously, first time back in Ireland as a professional, the atmosphere was off the charts. How did you mentally prepare yourself to go in there and perform like you always do?
It was actually weird because I was actually very sick that day of the fight. I was in bed in the hotel room and I was sick and I was like, fuck, I was like, I don't know if I'm even going to be able to perform, and I started to get a bit better, as I got closer to the fight. I don't know whether it was the adrenaline or whatever, I didn't really feel too bad when I got to the fight, and obviously I was a bit nervous in the back or whatever. And then once the wolf tones came on and I was walking and the crowd was singing and the place was just going mad, that then I had no nerves, no nerves at all. I took in all that energy, and I think that's why I got the performance, I got the knockout like I did, because that the energy that was there that night was unbelievable, and that helped me a lot, to be fair.
You know, I was at the fight in Dublin, and one thing I noticed while walking around the arena was there were so many children and teenagers wearing Callum Walsh t-shirts. How does it feel to be such an inspirational character to the next generation of boxers?
Yeah, that's one of the main things for me, to show people like it doesn't matter where you're from or who you are, and I think a lot of people need to realize that, especially back in Ireland, there's like I'm from Cove, small town in Cork, it's like if I can come over here and do it, anybody can, and there's a lot of young, talented Irish boxers coming up at the moment, and see, the thing that happens is like they turn 16, 17, and then they stop fighting, they think, oh, sure, like, how the fuck am I going to be a pro or how am I going to do this, because they get into this, like, small town mentality, like they're going to stay there for the rest of their lives, or a lot of people have to work, so they get a job, they get an apprenticeship, and then that's it, you know what I mean? And I just want to show people, like, if you take chances, it's hard. It's not going to be easy. Nothing is easy. And if you take a chance and you just go out and do it, it's possible. So seeing all those young kids and stuff wearing my t-shirts, it's yeah, it's crazy, to be fair. But yeah, that's one thing I do. I want to show people that anything is possible.
Yeah, and not too long ago, or sorry, after the fight, you got surgery on your hand. What has the recovery process been with that?
Yeah, it's been good, to be fair. Even I got the surgery, and even a couple of days later, I had no pain. I was still able to train, not punch obviously, but I was able to lift weights, and stuff like that, shadow box and whatever. I haven't been able to punch on it up until recently, but it feels good now. It feels better than it was before. Um, and I've been sparring for the last couple of weeks, stuff like that. So it's fine, and I'm just looking forward to getting back in the ring now and getting another job done.
And not too long ago, you were caught in the crossfire on social media in an exchange with Jake Paul, in which he called you a useless boxer. What is your take on that?
Yeah, if anyone's useless, it's him. You know what I mean? The fella, he can't beat anybody. He fought one boxer and he lost. One half boxer. I would call Tom Fury a half boxer. And he lost. You know what I mean? And it's like he wouldn't fight anyone that's a real threat. He's throwing out all these names on social media, just saying this and that, just to keep himself out there. But at the end of the day, if it came down to it, he would not fight me. So fuck him at the end of the day. I talked to Dana about it, and nobody. He's just a pussy, really. Like, and nobody wants to deal with him, and nobody wants them fake fights. You know what I mean? Especially for my career. I'm on a different a different path to that kind of shit.
And while we're on the topic of Jake Paul, what did you make of his fight with Mike Tyson?
You know, like anybody, like who would do that? You know, what up and coming fighter would fight a 60-year-old man? You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, I know it's Mike Tyson, and people might want to just do it just to be in the ring with Mike Tyson, but at the end of the day, it's like it's not safe. You know, it's a 60-year-old man, and I don't know. It didn't look good. Mike Tyson could barely walk out to the ring. You know, it didn't really. He had a medical emergency. A couple of months before that. It didn't look good. I would never do it. But I suppose if people want to see it, they want to see it. But I think everyone realized the level that Jake Paul is at after that fight.
Yeah, and onto a completely different level now. This year will mark 30 years since Steve Collins versus Chris Eubank in Cork, with your coach Freddie Roach was cornering Steve that night. I know you only take it one fight at a time, but if all goes well on March 16th, would you like to fight in Cork later on this year? It'd be some story with Freddie being back corner in a fight in Cork 30 years later.
Yeah, no, that's one thing I said after my fight in Dublin that I was like, yeah, next year is the 30 years for Steve Collins. I would love to get back to Cork. So I have no idea what their plans are. We'll see after this one where they want to bring me next, but Cork is definitely somewhere I want to fight. Cork is like the next place that is on my bucket list. It was always like I want to go here and I want to fight in Madison Square Garden. I want to fight in these, but now I want to. After feeling in Dublin, I can only imagine what Cork is going to be like, and hopefully we can get it done this year. That would be perfect timing, really. And the story would be a good story and all that, but I'm not sure. We'll get over this one first, and hopefully we can get it done this year. Yeah.
And you're back in action on March 16th against Dean Sutherland in the theatre at Madison Square Garden. Tell me, how did this fight come about?
Yeah, no, just like every other fight, they told me I'm fighting on March 16th, and I said, yeah, grand, no bother. And then turns out it's Dean Sunderland. But to be honest, it could have been anyone. I don't care. They just tell me when and where, and I show up and fight. I don't pick and choose opponents. Whoever it is, it's going to be. And I'm trying to get to the top. And I'm going to have to fight these fellas either way. So just line them up, and I'll do my best to win the fight.
How's the preparation going ahead of this fight?
Yeah, it's going very well. I've even with the surgery, with the recovery, I never stopped training. I'm constantly training. I'm constantly in shape. So it's not like I'm coming back after 3 months off of doing nothing and I'm coming off the couch fat and everything. Like I'm not. I've been training. I've been keeping myself in shape. So the preparation is going very well. The sparring, the timing is coming back and all that. So yeah, I'm feeling very good, and I can't wait to just get it over and done with.
And on the undercard, there's a rematch of a great all-Irish fight between Emmett Brennan and Kevin Cronin. These two also faced off on the undercard on your last fight, and it went the distance in a very close contest. What do you make of this matchup, and do you have any predictions for this fight?
Yeah, fight on the card. No, the whole card was unbelievable in Dublin. All good Irish fights, and we're bringing the same thing to New York. Good, strong Irish card. It's going to be the biggest Irish boxing card in New York history. And that's a good fight. I wasn't too sure who won it the last time. I was watching it, and I didn't really know who should have got the decision. But yeah, that's a good one to have on the card. And yeah, like I said, we're just bringing real fights, real Irish fights to New York, and this is what it's all about. And fair play to the lads for doing the rematch, because it was a tough one. It was not a easy fight. So yeah, fair play to them for doing that rematch.
Currently, you're ranked number 7 by the WBC and ranked number 6 by the IBF. With another win on March 16th, do you believe your dreams of becoming a world champion are within the reach within the next 2 years or even by the end of this year?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like it's getting very close. Number 7 right now, keep winning these fights. And they're going to have no choice but to keep putting me up the rankings. And depending on my performances and stuff like that, I think if I keep performing, if I keep knocking people out, it's even closer. But if if I fall off or if I lose concentration, it could be a bit further away. But I feel like definitely within the year. Yeah, I think so.
Now, Dean said in a recent interview that he will take you into deep waters and will drown you. What's your reaction to this?
Yeah, there's no one to take me to deep waters. You know what I mean? I'm used to the deep water. So Dean can try to take me to deep waters, but at the end of the day, he has 7 knockouts out of his 20 fights. You know what I mean? I've 10 in 12. You know what I mean? So I think I have the more power. And I think if he tries to stand there and fight with me, that I'll knock him out. So I don't see this fight going to the deep waters. And if it does, how bad? I'm used to the deep waters. I spar in the wild card. You know what I mean? Every single day, a place that's known for tough sparring, and I'm sparring there and I'm doing fine for the last 4 years. So we'll see how deep the water is when we get to New York.
I'm just wondering if we could do the word association game with you. So I'll give you the name of someone and you just give me one word to describe them.
Yeah, no bother. Yeah,
Perfect. So first up, Katie Taylor,
legend.
Steve Collins,
He could be a Cork man.
Tom Loeffler,
Hall of Fame,
Dana White,
best promoter.
Tabitha Ritchie,
Sausage.
Jake Paul,
Oh yeah, pussy.
Dean Sutherland,
My next knockout.
and finally Callum Walsh.
Next up.
And lastly, Callum, what is your message to Dean ahead of March 16th?
The same message I give to every one of my opponents. It's like show up, fight, and give the fans what they want. I think he will. I think he will. I see how he fights. I see some of his highlights. And I think it's going to be a very good fight. Not just for me, but for everybody involved. And this is the kind of stuff we need. We need to both show up prepared to die. And give the fans what they pay for. We don't want to give them some little tickling match. You know what I mean? They want to go there and they want to see two fellas try to take each other's heads off and be entertained. And I think he will. So I'm looking forward to it.
Callum Walsh takes on Dean Sutherland in the theatre in Madison Square Garden on March 16th, live on UFC Fight Pass. Callum, thanks very much and best of luck on March 16th.
Thank you.